Nice. So choose a character. Come on, come on, come on.
Deku.
Deku. Evil. Do you want him to be evil, or do you still want him to be good?
Evil.
Now, two options. He can get the quirk from All Might, or he doesn't have to get the quirk from All Might. Do you want to choose, or do you want me to go random?
Actually, let's do some things. Let's do a little bit of things to it. If we're going to change the storyline, he's born with a quirk, and he also gets all for one.
You mean one for all?
One for all, yeah, and down for that.
You want him to be a villain, but that doesn't make sense. Actually, oh, Jalen, you just chosen death. All right. Okay, he was born with a quirk. He never realized what it took him a while to realize what a quirk was, but when he finally realized what it was, he knew what he had to do.
Or maybe he's a late bloomer with his quirk.
No, this is my storyline. Shut up. Since he could never figure out what his quirk was, he was spoiled by his mom. Anytime he would relax or something, she'd always just give it to him. He just thought it was just because she felt bad because he didn't have a quirk. Because they thought he didn't have a quirk. It turns out his quirk was persuasion. He just always knew what to say to get what he wanted. No one knew this quirk would get him.
Oh my god.
What he did, he went his whole life being bullied by Bakugo. When he finally realized what his quirk was, he told no one. They thought he didn't have a quirk. They thought it was a strange child when they did the thing. When they did the feet X-ray said he did have one. They just assumed he was a late bloomer, and even though he was a late bloomer, he never did it. It was a possibility. When he realized what his quirk was, he persuaded Bakugo to become friends with him. So he wasn't bullied his whole life. But he knew from the moment he saw All Might, he knew All Might would never accept him. Or so he thought he would accept him. So he still studied heroes, as he once did in the other universe. He studied villains as well. Many of them. He even got his information about how All Might was weak. And about the fight with All for One.
What was that? I also making a YouTube video too. I was saying my hero talk. And then
yeah, I know. I saw it. I hope you would pick me. Bro, let me close my door real quick.
What's going on in the background?
They're trying to. She's calling her name, her friend's hair, and they're not answering. So basically, what's happened? So he knew exactly what to say to All Might to get the quirk. All Might almost didn't fall for it, but his persuasion was too good. He got the quirk. You see, he didn't have a physically right body, but his body was so close. It only took a few months. Him and Bakugo got accepted in the UA quickly. But he persuaded. In the original version, All Might didn't tell him what to figure it out on his own. But he persuaded All Might to tell him. With his quirk once again, he figured out how quickly how to maintain 33%. So he got top 3 in his class. Only people that were in front of him were Bakugo and Todoroki. Todoroki coming in first, while Bakugo coming in second.
Anime Sus Clan.
No one ever thought it would happen.
Wait, he said his name is Anime Sus. Well, not his. This is not his name, but his club. Well, not his club. His hashtag things is Sus Anime Sus Clan.
So basically, what he did was when the villains attacked, he had persuaded a hacker to give him information about these guys. He sweet talked one of them to letting him join. He was now their spy. Yeah. He now knew about the trading camp. He now knew about everything that was gonna happen.
He even know USJ? Cause USJ is episode 13.
Yeah, this is where he persuades the villain where he's
Oh, in USJ.
at the place. Yeah, where they attack them at the thing waiting for Almighty.
And they'll just think that he disappeared for a second.
He just say he attacked the villain attacked him and he got him.
Yeah.
Of course, that worked perfectly. Who would ever doubt oh sweet Deku? He still took that name.
Even Deku was supposed to be an insult name.
Yeah, he thought taking it as an insult. He started taking it as a good name. Deku, the nerd who took down All Might. That's what eventually he called himself. That's eventually what everyone would call him. Since everyone knew that he could, since they knew that All Might was weak, what he did was, at the training camp, he made sure All Might could get there. And then when they got there, this time, All For One decided to make an early appearance. Because of this early appearance, All Might still had enough power to defeat him without going, with having little bits of power left. With this little bit of power left, Deku killed All Might.
Hot dog do 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 do.
Bakugo showed up asking why he became a hero. Asking why he became a villain. That they were supposed to become the two greatest heroes in the world.
Hot dog do 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 do.
Of course, Deku could never go away from persuasion. He persuaded people himself. He even persuaded Bakugo to let him go. But of course, Bakugo thought he had just saw his old friend. Power of his quirk was so powerful, he convinced Shigaraki to kill himself. He was now the new leader of the League of Villains.
Hey, if you watch the thing, you'll know that you know the Shigaraki is basically the person who, the League of Villains guy. He's actually the son of the person before all. Yeah.
Yeah, I already know. And even if I didn't know, you'd be spoiling. You know that, right?
Mhm.
Where did you feel?
But you're in season 4, though. You're in season 4, so you should already know that.
What if I wasn't at the... No, actually, I think, it was set in season 3, actually.
Yeah.
Now that he was the new leader, of course, he found out about how All Might have chosen a million, and that made him furious, even though, because he wanted All Might's power all for himself. When he showed up with the million, all the pros already expected it. Already expected him to come for him. So he had top security. But he might have persuaded a guard to let him in. Maybe. Maybe not. I mean, it's not like the guard remembers anything.
Your thought, kid. Your thought.
It's not like the guard will remember it. So he let Deku in. When he went to kill the million, guess who's there?
I mean, down there to smoke him.
Bakugo!
Jet's mad. Look at this guy's face.
Of course, Deku persuaded him to ask him where he was. Of course, but they had already had a fix for this. Bakugo didn't know. So he went to someone who did know. Aizawa. But of course, Aizawa wasn't gonna take that boy. he can't. It's not like he could do anything to him. He activated his quirk and he deactivated his quirk. But guess what? Well, guess what?
What?
Deku would have been in top physical condition, so no matter what, he kept punching Aizawa in the face. Eventually, Aizawa blinked. And that canceled the quirk. not cancel his quirk. Right before he could do it, suddenly right before he was about to be killed, the phone rang. Deku told him to answer, but if he would activate his quirk, he died the moment he did. When he answered the phone, they had just said that they had found All For One dead in his cell. Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, you forgot about the add the cell part, but I know that he's in his cell. Oh, they started the rank season. Oh.
Yep.
Bro, Holly, you're super gay.
He was wondering how that could be possible. Suddenly, Deku popped up with a quirk that he'd never had before. Did he kill All For One? Of course he did. He admitted to it right then and there.
And then he has all the. Then he can take people's quirks and. Wow.
So of course when Aizawa was ready. So of course when Aizawa was about to activate his quirk, he stole it. You know what he did after? He did the force activate quirk. Since he didn't have a quirk, the force activating quirk killed him.
Kill who?
Aizawa.
Oh, okay.
He didn't have his quirk anymore. It overrid his body because he was trying to activate his quirk. It was forcing him to activate his quirk, but since he didn't have it anymore, his body was so used to having it, it tried so hard that he killed him.
Oh, honestly, his quirk is always active. But wasn't actually wait. Also, well, actually, it's not always active because if he was to look at the students while they was doing their test, they wouldn't have their quirks.
It's only active when you want it to be. So, next thing they know, big crime organizations are skyrocketing, and the members and the leaders are dying. And of course, who's in the middle of it? Deku. The nerd who killed All Might. Of course, Bakugo had become the #1 hero by now. Years later, him and Todoroki fought for the spot. Of course, Bakugo didn't even want it. He just was there. One day, him and Todoroki went to. They finally found where Deku had been hiding all this time. When they got there, Eri. In this version, no one knew who Eri was. But her quirk.
Revert.
She turned one of the security guards into a baby, and then threw him into a shredder.
Wait, threw him into a shredder? Knock his dreads off.
Exactly! No, shred his dreads off.
Where's the shredder? but where was the shredder? But where was the shredder? That's the
thing. Somehow she had a quirk that no one had ever seen. How could she have had 2 quirks? Suddenly, she popped up with quirk 1 for all. Was this Deku's successor? And was she going to beat them right then there? No one knew that answer. But all they did know was that once they knocked her down, the next thing they saw was green. Literally green. His quirk, he'd given himself another quirk. His hair grew. His hair now grew out easily. He grew his hair.
Oh my gosh, I hate people who use that character.
Oh,
like
yeah.
They can go die.
He made his hair. He tried attacking him with his hair, with the green hair. Of course, they destroyed the hair, and he went to Eri. Suddenly, he kissed her.
Hey,
no, it's not like that.
Oh, it's healing.
Yup. Recovery Lady went missing years ago. Deku always loved her. Did he really kill her? Could he have done it to one of his favorite teachers? No one knew.
So he got the healing quirk, and then also, what if he also got this quirk? I forgot what it was. This love quirk, and it basically means you don't have to love the person like love, but you have to like them and stuff like family and stuff like that, and that can make them more powerful.
Suddenly, the thing he used to first activate Aizawa was quirky years ago. He suddenly one group between them. It turns out he was transferring all of his quirks straight to her, making Eri the new villain.
What, the new hero killer?
It turned out that's not at all what he was doing. Right then and there, they both died.
Wait, Eri and Deku?
The quirk One For All was lost forever. It turns out Deku had a dream that quirks would never be alive again. He said quirks made the world unfair.
And guess what? What if he took every single quirk in the world, and then after that he just died and stuff like that?
No one
and
knew
then
what he
there'll be
was
no
doing.
quirks, yeah.
But suddenly someone who died years ago had popped out of nowhere. The hero killer was back somehow.
But with
the hero
every
killer
quirk.
had a few extra quirks this time. He had a few extra quirks this time. So what he did was he flew into the sky, straight into the atmosphere, and he found out the UV rays, had done something that affected the whole population. That's what gave him quirks. Do you know what he did?
What?
He shattered it in half.
The reason why I left was because I wanted to see if there's any Halloween things.
You can just go to the shop from in the thing.
Oh.
But no, I don't see any yet. I don't see any Halloween skins in here. They'll probably come around a little bit more into the month. The hero killer shattered it. Well, everyone still had their quirks. No one would ever have a quirk again. So you know what the hero killer did?
What?
It turns out Deku had been busy his whole life. He created a machine that was gonna suck up everyone's quirk. Of course, when all the quirks had been sucked up, even the hero killers, you know what he did? All it took was a sacrifice of one person on top of that building. All it took was a death on top of that building to kill someone. For the machine to activate. Of course, the moment the hero killer tried to kill himself, they stopped him. But they didn't realize they had killed him while trying to stop him. He died, and the quirks were there. But it turns out there was a quirk built into this. Once everyone's quirk had been blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah, that suddenly the machine started to float into the air. Uraka still had her quirk, and she was still alive. No, Uraka was still alive. She wasn't hiding. How could it be floating? Turns out, the reason why she was in hiding was because her quirk was gone. She never told anyone because she didn't think anything of it. She didn't think her quirk would be used for that bad stuff. So yep. Eventually, it floated straight into space, hitting the moon, and everything came crashing down, and Earth was destroyed. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
That's tough. Your mic's muted.
Oh no. The end of the world storyline. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
So basically, you make the extinction event, well, the extinction theory, and my hero happen.
Turns out he just didn't want the world to have quirks anymore. For some reason, suddenly, the day the Golden Child was born, the Golden Child suddenly, it was back to the day the Golden Child was born. But no one had powers that day. Seems as he had affected the world for the better. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. The day the golden child was born, he was still glowing, but no one gained powers. The golden child was just a golden child. It turns out. Wait, I gotta do this real quick. It turns out the golden child was just. It was just Michael Jordan. Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
No, I'm just joking. It turns out the golden child, he was just a really special child. He turned out to be one of the smartest and strongest men in the world. But eventually, he did die and settle down. That quite affected the world for the better.
You said that it destroyed the whole world. You lied. You lied. You lied. Mwahaha. Enjoy my custom game.
Why?
Just do it.
You're gonna leave.
Huh? Why you leave? Fine, you make a custom game.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't even want to play custom game. But you can play custom game. I would go do Rick 1v1. Haha.
I can't
do your little wrestling.
Ah, my hand. Wait, what are you doing? You're doing a rank grind? I guess I'll do a rank grind.